Friendship after 40 requires a whole different strategy than it did before. And let's talk about 5 ways you can reevaluate friendships and build new ones and new community around the season that you're currently in. I took notes because this was a very important topic actually that came up at brunch today with the girls. It came up because there is a woman in the friend group that has a smaller baby, and then other ladies in the friend group have children that are grown or becoming empty nesters like myself. So the comment was made, you're in a different season of life, and the community you need when you have a smaller child, it looks very different from a lot of the older women who are, or not even older women, but a lot of the other women who are, like I said, becoming empty nesters or are already empty nesters. So you need to, for the very first thing is stop looking for more friends and start looking for alignment. Alignment is the key to who you are becoming. Now, when we were younger, friendships, were created because of the kids, because of school, because of where we worked, because of just, I don't know, military, because of neighborhoods, all of these different reasons. And now you are maybe 40 plus and your life is changing and you're in a season of change. You require a different community. You need to be asking yourself, what season am I really in, right? What is happening? What is shifting? What do I need? What conversations energize me? What do I no longer want to be around? What conversations totally drain me and I'm like over it and I don't want to be a part of? Those are questions that you need to be asking to help reevaluate some of the friendships you may have created when you were younger and the season was very different. The goal is not to collect friends, okay? The goal is to be in alignment so that as you walk into your second chapter, these friendships in this community, and it will serve you, it will help you grow, it will continue to help you evolve, it will stimulate you, it will energize you in a way that keeps you moving forward and not being stagnant. And the whole thing now is it's about evolution, it's about growth, it's about becoming. It's not about being held back and not about being in the same cycle of life, having the same conversations and never really going anywhere. We are over that. So the second thing you need to do is build community around who you are becoming, not who you have been. All right. You need to be thinking about, like I said, previous videos I've talked about this. Who are you becoming? What are you going to be doing every day? How are you going to be spending your time? How do you want to put your energy out there? So if you are building a community, if you are becoming a business owner, becoming an entrepreneur, you are going to be a creator, you're going to start volunteering, you're going to be a retiree, then your community should reflect that future. And you need to be asking yourself, like, where do those women hang out? Where do those women collect? Where do those women spend their time and energy? Because that is the circle you want to be in. That is the community you want to be a part of. You need proximity to the people who are where you are trying to go. Proximity is so important. It opens doors. It creates opportunities. It is very important to who you are becoming and where you are trying to go. And a lot of people, I know you've heard this before because it is in corporate, is a thing where it is oftentimes who you know, not what you know. The third thing is you have to create those touch points for yourself. You have to not wait for connection. You have to create the connection, all right? Let me tell you what I mean by that. Oftentimes when you had the children at the house, at home, your kids were home before you became empty nesters, those touch points were happening because the kids had practice, the kids had games, the kids had events, the kids had all these different things going on. So you saw the mom out, you saw your homegirls out, you saw you had the moments to spend, you created girl time because, oh, let's get away from the kids. So those touch points were happening just automatically in a sense. But now that the kids are going to be gone and you have no real reason to touch, you have to create that connection and cultivate the connection and the relationships if you want to continue to have them. So that means, for example, you have to plan the girls' night out, you have to plan the brunch dates, you have to plan the girls' trips, you have to be the one sometimes that initiates creating the community and space and time that you need for yourself. And that will take consistency on your part. You cannot rely on the other person to create the connection that you want to have and as consistently as you want to have it. So take some initiative. The fourth thing is conduct a relational proximity audit. Okay, so if you don't know what this is a part of my framework. And this is asking yourself, who do I spend my time with? How do I feel when I interact with them? Who encourages me to grow? Who motivates me? Who inspires me? Who energizes me, gives me and brings me joy? You have to ask yourself that. And also ask yourself, who only relates to the old version of me? Who only wants to see me in that same old light? Who only wants to tell stories about the past? And the interesting thing is it's okay for seasons to pass. It is okay to evolve out of relationships. It is perfectly fine. You have to ask yourself, does this relationship require the same depth? And I'm not saying you need to break up the friendship. You are just determining the level of energy and depth that friendship is going to require, and then identify if it is serving you in the same way, and then how to shift. Some friendships are not going to give you or fill your cup all the way to the brim. Some of them just give you bits and pieces of what you may be needing in certain areas of life, and that is okay. I'm not saying break up with this friend. No, you just have to understand what the relationship is going to require, how it's going to serve you, and the level of energy you want to continue to pour into it. You have to understand that friendships, some of them require nurturing. How much of that are you willing to give now in this season of life? Some of them require you setting boundaries. This season of life is going to look and feel very different, and you have to have clarity on who you are becoming and then clarity on what you're going to need in order to serve you in this season. You may not have space to listen to all of the same stories and be the savior and be the shoulder and allow the crying, and you may not have the space or the capacity to do that. So you have to be able to set those boundaries that make sense for who you are becoming, and that is okay. Some relationships just also need to be released with gratitude. Sis, I love you. You've been there. We have gone through this, we've gone through that, but in this season of life I need to step back a bit. Right? I need to work on me and gather me and support me and set some boundaries that help me preserve my peace and who I am becoming. Sometimes it may be that. The fifth thing is you have to be willing to become the connector. You don't have to wait for anybody to send the invite. If you want to have a girls' date and you want to go and have brunch, or you want to go on a shopping trip, or you want to set the date, sis, send the invites, ask the girls, hey, are you free? You're going to have to be the one that sometimes put this thing together because you need it. Not because somebody else needs it, not because somebody else wants it, but because you want it and you need it. Don't be the woman that waits for the invite, because oftentimes people are in their own worlds, in their own lives, doing their own thing, focused on what they have going on, and they may not be thinking about you per se, and may not be thinking about what you may be needing. So you're gonna have to send the invite. Don't be that lonely, the lonely adult, the lonely mom in this season of becoming an empty nester. Go and ask for what you need. Create what you need. Don't suppress anything that you may be feeling. Don't ask don't ask for permission. Do what you need to do for you. Create the space, create the connection, send the invites, do all of the things because you need this community. You need this friendship. It's not often that community is a thing that you find. Community is a thing that you're going to have to create. And I know for some, you may be introverts, you may not be the one that wants to go out and meet and mingle, but sometimes you have to put yourself in the place. You have to put yourself so in situations where you have proximity, where those friendships can be built and created and cultivated. So you're going to have to step outside. And a lot of times, the biggest surprise isn't that the house becomes empty when you become an empty nester. It is realizing that how much of your friendships and community was built around your children. And this season that you're in is not asking you to replace those friendships. It is intentionally inviting you to build a community that supports who you are becoming. So drop me a comment and let me know which of these 5 things is going to be a starting place for you. You need community. You need to reevaluate friendships. You need to be the connector. You need to do what you need to do for you. And it starts with you. So I hope this helped. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe if it did. Don't forget to drop me a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you. Bye.